you ever wondered, can you communicate directly with spirit guides, teachers, or non-physical consciousness, or even our higher selves? What would they tell us? My name is Kevin Moore, and since 2015, I started to practice a form of communication which is termed channeling. I have been interviewing experts on my talk show to find out, does life continue after we die, and can we communicate with those that have crossed over? With each expert I spoke to, they all had different ideas. Is there knowledge from the past which could be shared with the present moment? So I thought, why not just speak to the non-physical world directly through channelers around the world? And that's what I set out to do. They Call Us Channelers will take the viewers on a journey into the phenomena known as channeling. And my main goal with this docuseries is to bring a new understanding and awareness to channeling by looking within ourselves and asking, is it truly possible that we can all use this innate ability? Ivan, thank you so much for joining us. And you are based in Florida, so you're not too far away from Orlando.
No, about 2 hours from here.
2 hours, and this was all a last-minute connection. And I'm really, you are a lovely person, man.
Thank you.
And it's beautiful to be connected with you in person, because I don't think many people get to meet you in person.
One of the few third person that's probably met me in person. So yeah, it's very. I'm behind the camera normally.
It's an honor. It's an honor. So, where I want to start with this is just at the beginning for you as well. Now, if I go back to when you were younger, right? Yeah. Were there any signs of anything being different in the sense of any abilities?
Yeah, there's basically, like, I knew that spirit was around, but it was probably more in my teenager time. When I was young, well, I don't go into this very often, but when I was young, when I would get mad, I'd be like other kids, hit their heads against stuff. But I think I was also opening up, probably, myself. Another thing I remember, which is very hard as you're growing up, is that you would talking English, but then I would talk some other language that wasn't human, like what the galactic languages that I finally found out. Here I'm like 38, found out now. So when I was younger, I would say stuff because it didn't sound right coming out human. So it's like, what did I just do? So, but the biggest one was when I was, I think, teenage years. I would get like little touches here from spirit, and sometimes I'll be laying down and they'll hit my arm. It's like, okay, there's obviously a spirit world because they're knocking around me. It's not bad. It's just to get my attention. I have my leg, spiritually hit. And it's like the whole bed would move, and I'm in the bed up where I channel that bed's my uncle made it, and it's made out of wood and it moves around. I was on it when I was younger, and I got like a poke. The whole bed shook back and forth. It's like, okay, I'm not crazy. so that's
yeah. There's always been something there that you can now. I mean, you wouldn't have recognized it before too much. I mean, the moving bed, maybe you would that you would remember that. But I mean, just signs. Those little signs.
Yeah, little stuff.
Yeah.
Nothing major. Nothing. Never thought I was a channeler.
Well, was there anything in the family? Was there any other family members?
No, just had schizophrenia in the family. Hearing voices, I didn't know about that until I was around 20, 21. A family member had that. I actually put it locked up too. So not to go into too much detail on that.
But could they have been actually receiving something and just misunderstood it? Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. That's more. Yes.
So before getting into channeling, had you watched any sort of documentaries? Were there any sort of books you were reading?
Well, I don't remember exactly. Right when the financial crisis occurred, after that, I found David Icke. He knew this was going to happen years ago, and everybody says in that. I found Alex Jones. David Icke really contributed to my awakening. I don't think I've ever said that, well, here and there, but David Icke's really in a positive way. And I found Project Camelot, and then, yes, I read some of the books. Of course, I don't remember. The famous one about Adam and Eve, E.T., or Genesis, and I forget the name of it, but the famous book about aliens and E.T.'s, I forget.
Was it Zachariah Stitchin, or?
That's part of it.
Yeah.
That's part of it.
But there were others.
There was others, but mostly documentaries. Project Camelot played a big role in it, and just watch it, never thinking I'd be doing this ever. So.
Me too. I pretty much got into Coast to Coast.
Yeah.
Watched a lot of Alex Jones, InfoWars. Alex Jones nowadays, for me, is too much conspiracy. And conspiracy, I find, is just never a solution.
Yeah, it's I've said this in the past, that somebody that connected, he's not connecting to the metaphysics of it, because that's really where you get more answers, and that's what all this is about. Really.
That's it, and one leads into the other. I think research first, then enlightenment, as Casey would say. And with David Icke, he probably will now say, if he was here, that he channels on stage, and I'm going to try to talk to him about this when I get back to the UK.
That'd be really, he changed so many lives, and for a while it's like, okay, I believe in these reptilians. Never saw one, and then after a while I was like, okay, I didn't see a reptilian. I'm not sure if I believe anymore. Then I started channeling. Then I saw reptilians, in your third eye, and you feel them around. They're not so happy what you're doing. So.
Well, let's get into that as well. So, with your channeling, now prior to the channeling, you had other ideas of what you were going to do on YouTube. It wasn't your main idea to begin with, I think, to become a channeler and do channel videos.
Oh yeah, I can give you a short synopsis of this if that's okay. Just really short, because in 2014, let people know how spirit works. It was 2014. Oh, sorry, 2000. It's been a while now. 14, yeah. Spirit is telling me, you just feel them around. You have your Noah moment. God's talking to me. So it's like, and it was a spirit. It wasn't the aliens yet. And it said to become a professional psychic. Because in 2001, I had my awakening. And I didn't know what to do with it, so I shut down, basically. Tarot card reader. I met, I did you lay somebody down and you do the meditation like that, but I didn't know what to do with it. I didn't know what to do with it. Doing a psychic door to door, or didn't feel right. So I found in 2014, I found a psychic circle, and they said, "Magic man, I can connect to all this." I was a different energy, but once again, so I learned how to ground myself. I think so, and then it kind of broke away from that group because they have their stuff going on there, but that's okay. And I kind of shut down again. Then I found YouTube, the savior of all of us, apparently. And I got a message, channeling reptilians. Found that, not to go into full detail. So okay, so I started doing not trans channel, but just casual channeling of beings, and recorded them. I did put on Blog Talk Radio. Just I wasn't sure what I was getting. So it's like, man, I'd like to bring in a being, like you see everyone else do. Maybe I'll feel more confident in what I'm doing. So it was the confidence. It's like, I don't know what I'm connecting to. It's like, I'm connected to reptilians. I felt them. I felt them. They're telling me, you think you know it all. I felt them in the backseat of my car. So it's like, okay. But yeah, so I just connect to an alien and just channel their energies, and then I record it. That was what YouTube was in the beginning. So.
And that's what it began. And when you say you had your spiritual awakening, just roughly, what was that?
A tarot card reader, basically a friend of mine that's not a tarot card reader. She had a car accident. So she went to see a therapist that had a tarot card reader there, a healer. And so she would bring into basically she would do hypnosis, past life stuff. So like, and so I was told, hey, go check this out. And it's funny, this girl that I met is a friend of mine at work. I just happened to, Panera Bread, just happened to go there. It's like, I know you and you know me and this is weird. And she just had her car accident and all of a sudden I'm going to see a hypnotherapist like in a month or so and all that. So, and then that's when my guides started popping up and I started feeling them around more. So one of my guides appeared in the car. So just, third eye. But that's really where it all happened.
So you were taken under regression?
Yes. From past life, I saw Atlantis. I saw like 1 million people die, and I was like, geez, I don't know if I just felt that. I saw myself as a Greek playwright writing plays, and even the lady that was doing the regression saw a white beard appear around my, so that was neat.
So why do you think you were showing those lives for?
Release, I was doing writing before that. I was trying to, or some people say you are, but I guess I had writing lifetimes in the past. So, channeling. So I've been channeling since I was in middle school because I was always writing stories, but always breaking the rules, like, oh, you don't have to do this and that. And so I've always been channeling since a kid, if you count that as channeling. So around middle school time, so I was writing stories.
So what is channeling to you, would you say?
Well, the channeling I feel is here to open us up to our, and this is something I just came up, connected with. That we're here to open ourselves up to the human that we truly are, basically. We're here to open up our brains, like the movie Lucy, but be able to handle it this time, like the Atlanteans. That I was thinking about this recently too. If any species had the power of the Atlanteans, I'm not sure if anyone could be able to handle it, because apparently it's quite powerful. So we just were the lucky ones. So, and of course we have a lot of other influences that are not helping us here. But channeling is how fast this is going to go, obviously, it's going to be gradual. This is to reactivate ourselves. That's what all this is about, is what I feel. That's my main, to get the maturity to handle it and to ease ourselves into that.
And do you think that everyone can channel?
Yes. Yes, everyone has psychic abilities. Everyone has, it doesn't mean it has to be your life goal. But yes, I believe everybody can.
Yeah, because not everyone's going to channel like you do. Maybe they're just going to channel to their family.
Exactly. Yeah. Or family members that have crossed over.
Right, right. I mean, could channeling just be bringing in the greater aspect of your soul?
Yes, yes.
And these are all human words for it, I mean, I'm guessing that, maybe you would agree with this, or give me your input, that what you bring through is the tip of the iceberg on what really is the nature of reality.
Oh yes, definitely. I think everybody's getting just a piece, I always feel them holding back. I know people tell me, Ivan's holding back all the time. It's like, that's, is it me or is it them? Because I leave myself open. Say whatever you want, in a positive way. And then you get a general message. It's like, I'm okay with all that. Others want more. And also, like when I go to places to channel, they come through me because it's like this gives them a chance to connect with the energies around. Those are there. They have their reasons behind it. So yeah.
And why do you think for yourself that it's this constant extraterrestrial vibration or consciousness that comes through?
That's to unlock us from this. It's cool, it's neat, it's aliens, but they want to be part of this too. And it attracts people, which is great, nothing wrong with that. But also they're warning with us. It's like, this is like an experiment. They don't want it to go wrong, but it's interesting to them too. They can see possible for futures. They don't know where things are going to go either, from what I feel.
Do you think if everything is one, that they are a part of you, they're a part of your soul that you connect to?
Yes, they have to resonate you with some way, shape, or form, I think so. Yeah.
That's exactly what the lady that channels Seth said to me, that the entity has to have some resonation, or I don't know what the right word is, but it's alignment with the soul.
Yeah, it's
some match.
Yeah, because sometimes I channel Indian gods. I must have some connection to India. I don't know where I can't connect to everything. But when I come through, it's like I'm having a blast. It's like, not to say with the aliens I don't have that either. Of course, the Indians are in spirit, so it's a different energy. The aliens are like, but yeah, it's they just resonate with your DNA, your experiences. It has past lives. It has all. Some of it's higher self. I don't believe all of it's higher self. I mean, it goes through your higher self. I don't believe all of it is. Obviously not.
How do you discern with what you're bringing through as well? Or is that a question you ever ask yourself?
Like, what is it? What is this about, basically? There's different agendas. Bring enlightenment. I've had people say, I believe that message was just for me. And that's what it's about. Even when I conscious channel or I bring in somebody, because anyway, I'm channeling spirit. It's like, it's not always for a huge crowd or a stadium full of people. A few, that's fine by me. I don't have a problem with that. So, and that is for healing for that person, to unlock themselves from whatever situation. So it's kind of like music in a lot of ways. Really
yeah. It's a lot like that, actually. Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah.
Make you feel better. That's what it's about.
Do you feel better every time you channel?
Yes. Sometimes when I'm tired, even then. Sometimes when like I'm at work and I come, I do a session, and I'm like, oh, I don't know what's going on. I channel somebody, I feel a lot better. I have more energy, so it's like recharge. So yeah.
But at work, no one knows that you channel.
No. It's funny, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think they'll freak them out. I've thought about it. By the way, I'm Superman, or something like that.
How has it changed your life so far?
Everything's changed. Before I did this, I didn't really have much of a life purpose. I did writing. I was writing a book. Not to go into that right now, but I had nothing to do with channeling, but trying to write novels, which actually helps with. I'm doing text channeling now, which is not fiction, but what I was doing is fiction, and I felt more confident about it. And actually, I was going to write stories about aliens, like fiction stuff, and then now here I'm doing this. My whole life has done a 180 for sure.
Well, could you have imagined you doing this?
No, never.
What's it like to be helping as many people as you are?
Feels good. I don't always obviously hear from everyone, but I'm glad that, I feel like I'm a lifeline for others, which is great. That gives me, because this isn't always easy channeling, how it just, you don't know always who you're channeling or what's going, you're not doing this, you are doing it, you get all that. So it's like, it's not as easy as you might think. So.
Obviously, I've come across channelers that are multi-dimensional channelers. They'll just bring it in. Yeah. Mm. Do you think you could bring most things in that align with you?
Oh yeah. I think so.
So you've not just brought in ETs. You brought in
everybody.
Source as well.
Source, yes. A version of Source. I get the funny Source. The prime career is just a comedian in a lot of ways. I think it. Like I said, some people take this too seriously. It's like, let's bring in some, when he comes through, it's different than any other being I've ever connected to. They say it's not Source. It's a version of something. I believe it is Source. But for some people, maybe somebody else comes in, but still, it's Source. Right?
And as you say, you bring an aspect of Source in.
I think so.
Yeah. And the information is always changing. There's always new information. Yes. And you've come across the gods above gods.
Yeah, I feel there's many gods and not just one. And yes, they are bowling. That's funny. I don't know why that just came into my mind, but that's the mark. Yeah, I feel there's many gods. And this is something I've just recently connected to. I've connected to it here and there. But once again, as we progress, we'll learn more. And we won't feel, it's like the car. It's like when the car started out, wow, that's new. And now it's like no big deal.
Why do you think they come through? What are they trying to do?
heal those that I am connecting to. Give them more understanding of what's going on. The big thing is depression here. We want answers. We want a better world. And that's the big one. The better world is what.
Do you think we're being upgraded?
Yes, little by little, slowly.
But like you say, you only bring the positive energies through. But do you think there's a controlling energy out there for mankind? Do you think there's something that's controlling us, or do you think there's something that's not got our interest at heart that's out there?
Oh yes, definitely. Yeah, it's a little bit of everything. I don't look at them. I mean, you can look at them as negative, but you can look at them as. There's different ways of looking at it. Think of them as very good at playing a game, and we're the ones being played. And we're in the game, we don't even realize it. So they're going to be rough on us until we realize who's here. You know, as more of humanity wakes up to say, whatever the reptilians, whatever beings that are here, that's when we'll start to appear more. It's like, okay, game's over, we can't hide anymore. People are trying to find us now. That's when, you know.
Do you think you'd have disclosure in your life?
Well, that's funny how you say that. I've been getting recently, if you want me to go into that, really short, very quickly. I was at Universal Studios around end of April. I do the walking channels and go into that some later. But I felt a Palladian presence that felt like they were like really very close than usual. Channeling is one thing, but sometimes they say we're here is like it's a stronger energy. You can feel their consciousness. And as I did a channeling of the being, that night I did a video. I was talking about all of it out of nowhere about them showing them their ships in the skies, being a little bit more clear. And then the next day, Sunday, I felt their presence again, the Palladians, of disclosure. And I felt that they want me to talk about it. So now I'm more in disclosure theme now, here and there, not always, of possibilities. I saw a ship around some water area, a beach somewhere, where you see Palladians, a tall Blonde Nordic, so I'm getting his Ashtar Command. I didn't know I was part of Ashtar Command. Little by little, I don't know all the answers either. And I connected to a Nordic, Nathaniel, that I found out now is Ashtar Command. So they are bringing in the disclosure from at least the version I'm getting. So they're giving me scenarios. So,
you know, one of the things that channelers have told me is that, you know, we're constantly shifting our reality. We're not always in the same reality as we make different choices. And I wonder, in different realities, whether, you know, contact is a bit further down the line.
There's that. And the one I'm getting is something's going to happen this year. I'm not sure what. Around July, and then I get September. So it's they're not saying what. I had a dream recently of actually meeting an alien. Of actually like a contactee, like actually meeting. It was human looking, and then I got attacked right after that. So,
do you think we're ready for it though? Even though we say we are.
That's the thing. They want me to talk about it. But yeah, are we ready?
Yeah.
Some are, most aren't. So that's the funny thing about it.
Imagine, you know, even I can say that hand on heart. I think I would be quite nervous.
Yeah.
That's something that's so far out of my reality of perception that it would, even though the movers have indoctrinated us to accept that could happen, it still seems to be a big challenge for some people.
Yeah.
So you would feel then that you're attracting your own crowd to your teachings?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking about disclosure actually makes a lot of sense. I'm not sure about speeding it up, but just making it, you know, digesting. They're here. These are Palladians. They look like us. We're okay with that. Even that's kind of weird. You know?
Well, you know, when you look at the nuts and bolts of ufology, and that, you know, is this the evolution in the ufology work, in the sense where it goes from nuts and bolts to more consciousness based?
Yeah. Well, what I'm also feeling, as you can see, AI is becoming more and more part of our lives, and so that, you know, we're going to Mars with Elon Musk. So you get all these little pieces. So alien disclosure, however whatever they're feeling to bring in. Maybe they're just, it might be just more information that's more rock hard. Maybe that's what they're doing. I don't know.
Do you watch any other channels much?
A little bit. Human Colony, every once in a while. Brad Johnson, and Rob Geiser, and Project Camelot. That's not really channeling, but
Yeah. So you're influenced by some of the other ET contactees. Brad Johnson's been on, and so has Rob Gothia. They produce some great work. Do you ever question that which is coming through you? Do you ever say, well, what is this? Is it the ET presence, or is it something else? Or is it because you just kind of go with it and just trust it?
In the beginning, when you're first doing it, you have no idea what you're doing. It's like 6 months in, it's like, I'm still not getting, I believe it, but it's like getting used to this is, it's so weird. Yes, I believe most of the time that it is the being that says they are, because they tell me as they come in. But if other beings come in, possibly, yes. But they have their reasons for it.
If we were more consciously progressed in a sense, do you think there would have been contact by now?
Oh yeah, for sure. What's keeping them back is the violence here, the gun violence. But before I got this whole disclosure thing, I was feeling 5 years from now, maybe we'll get more. And now they're truly connecting to me like God talking to Noah. So it's like, we'll see what's happening. Let's see what happens.
So for someone that you give a reading to, that it's not their family member that's going to come through in a reading. It's more of a galactic connection.
Oh, it can be either. If they ask for a family connection, it will be. But usually it's a galactic, but it can be, whatever they want. No, those are normally right. But when you're in a public setting, you don't know what you're. Usually, I feel like I'm connecting to the right one, but you never know sometimes.
What was your build up to channeling in the sense of your training? Was there much training you gave yourself, or was the training just doing it?
Oh no, not at all. I got when I decided to. I talked to a friend. I did if you see my YouTube channel, one of the first things we did a talk. Like I'm pretending it was like David Icke or something like that. So I'm like I know what I'm talking about. And I was like, it'd be interesting because a friend of mine talked to somebody at MUFON. It's like, wouldn't it be interesting if I can channel a being like a Grey from MUFON? Of course, they never got back to me. It's been like 2 years now, 3 years now. That's all right. I don't focus on that. So wouldn't that be interesting? It's like I've seen people do it. And then I get like from my guides that I can do it. I get energy from them. You can feel it's like. So I found on YouTube once again the Savior. Betsy Morgan, you can look her up now. She has a channeling audio. So it's like $30, bought it, listened to it, followed it. I tried to channel Archangels. Didn't work it's weird at first. I still feel that. It's like, I'm not sure if this is weird because you're having somebody come in. So it's like, oh, this is so weird. And so my spirit guide, that I later got rid of because it's kind of shady after a while, but I kind of knew who he was, Ulysses, and he came right through. And he's like, and he said, I don't listen to them and all that and whatever. And we have our little past. It's still, we're working on that. And after he came through, I was like, heck with it. Let's turn on the camera. I'm going to record it. I'm ready to go. Now, do I get involved with some of that? Like, you're supposed to stay out of that. I didn't know that. Well, I believe I did for the most part. But then I learned over time to separate myself from the message.
Well, there's my next point with your channeling. You're not trance channeling as such. You're still kind of aware of what's being said.
Yes and no. I don't connect to what's going on. Usually I tap out. So I'm kind of consciously semi-conscious. So it's trance, but not fully.
Are they always with you, do you think?
Yeah.
Do you have a team?
Here and there. They show up when they need to. I have everybody comes through. So yes and no, I guess, yes.
So you're where you are right now with your channeling. You're in a good place, comfortable with what
Yeah.
you're bringing through. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel, even in the beginning, I felt I was fine with it. I don't know how much of me was in there. Hopefully not too much, but when you're new at this, you're just painting it's like painting a house, you don't know what the hell you're doing. I think for the most part it was them. I mean, now I just use the words, I will not be part of this message. And that does help, but I think still I don't think I was involved that much.
No, and that's how you feel about that process. Yeah,
That's what I feel. I mean, it might be a little bit of me
Yeah.
in there, like jokes, but it's still pull for me for humor and all that. So.
And there's obviously been a lot of surprises on the way as well.
Oh yeah. Channeled with the cone heads. That's just like that was in the early days. Mantis were fun because I kind of got the energy of a mantis. So then they're talking about cars. It's like, why are you talking about a car? Because they're just fascinated by cars. So those are fun. I don't channel the mantis so much because it's like, it's just too much. It's just too much fun. I mean, if it's more serious, there's just too much kid stuff.
Do you think we take this a bit too serious sometimes, this work?
Yeah. I try to, yes.
Keep the fun.
But yeah, well, seriousness can be at like 90% sometimes, maybe 100%, depending on the person. So.
Yes, because I suppose depending on what the client's coming to you with, they've got different needs. They may be in a bit of a dark place, or they may be there for some other type of enlightenment or help.
Yeah, but that's definitely, want to take that seriously, but it definitely is there for healing.
What would you say is the most important message of the work that you're doing right now?
I believe the disclosure information, actually. It's kind of funny how you're in this area. And I was actually looking I connected more to the reptilians to go and more like help people be aware of who's here. I mean, aware of the presence here, not just the reptilians, but let people know who's behind all of this. Because society is pretty much mimicking a lot of reptilian ways, like the violence here and stuff like that. It's very a reptilian type of world when you think about it. Of course, there's friendly ones, but now there's disclosure information. It's just basically not to worry, not to panic is the main message there. And it'll be, I believe the first contact will be, I know, it's very early, but
obviously their progression is our progression.
Exactly.
Yeah, so as we spiritually evolve, so do they.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So they see us, do they see our soul contracts, our soul connections?
Oh yeah, they see everything as far as I can tell. When they connect to all of us, they see just what they see majority, they don't see everything, obviously. They see like the levels of the earth, they have holograms of earth on their world somewhere where they can see what's going on with us, not to say they're peeping on us or anything. Even if they did, they wouldn't mean anything to them. It's like, so what? And besides us, we're all, don't look at me, and don't do this or
So you've had your own physical experiences with the craft?
Yeah. Well, with the craft, yes, actually, yes.
Even from a distance?
Oh,
yeah.
Yes. Yeah, because I was driving, as you're saying, I was driving in Tampa, and I felt I was going to go to a park and channel, actually. Or just go to the park and this is in the early days of just connecting with nature. Nature for me in the past was like, oh, there's nature. Okay. But now I'm like trying to get more connected to it. And I was driving towards the park. I did feel a Palladian craft. I felt it was a Nordic.
Yep.
I did feel it move. I just felt them flying it. Didn't see it, but I felt it. So just let me know. That was in early stages of this.
Yeah. And one thing you've done as well, you've just started doing your own comics as well. Yeah. But you've been doing these comics for a while, haven't you?
Yeah, since August, I think, of last year.
What is, just tell us about the comic. How did this come about and why are you doing these comics?
Yeah, it's Jake. Basically, once again, Spirit was talking to me. It's like, go back into comics, because I did comics for Zeta's watching humans on TV and stuff. And so I got a message to try comics again. So then I saw this image of Bill O'Reilly type of character talking to a rabbit. So it's like, it was basically supposed to be about the Bill O'Reilly, his name's Fred. he would just talk to his girlfriend and then talk to the rabbit. Say, well, Jake over here says I'm not crazy. You know, it's going to be like a sitcom type of thing. I don't know what it was going to be. And then so I started writing up a script, and it just went on and on and on. Basically, yeah, his name's Jake. That's the rabbit. He's a game show host, wears a suit. His friend is Herman. He has like a balloon head. And it's just, they sent aliens to Earth. They won a contest. Oh, it'd be fun to go to Earth. Like a sandwich won a contest, gets sent to Earth. Now he's being eaten by a human. It's like, oh, what's up with this? So, Jake. So basically, the premise of it, the cartoon characters you see on Serial, see on TV, those are all aliens. And so Jake feels bad for sending aliens here. They get imprisoned. Cows are not doing so good here.
When did that story? How did that story come about? In a sense, where did the inspiration come for that?
It just came out of just channeled.
Yeah.
The whole thing just came in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, without much resistance from you to do it.
Not at all.
It just felt the right thing.
Jake was supposed to be like a short comic, 2-3 panels. That's it. Now he has his own line. I'm at issue 5. He battles the Easter Bunny. So it's like, yeah, it's a comedy. It's supposed to be fun. You know, he shows up to people in dreams. He's appeared to me. I felt him running from the government or something. He's running from somebody. He's a whistleblower, basically, is the way I look at it. So I'm having fun with it. Some people, it helps with waking people up too.
Sure, absolutely,
So
absolutely. And where do you see the sort of evolution of your work going? Where would you like to take your work, or are you just pretty much in present moment with it right now?
Present moment, yeah. Like with Jake, I'd like to have that go into television, like South Park, or in its own version. Not so raunchy. Jake is pretty for kids. It can be. Of course, it goes to the Illuminati and all that, so teenagers. But that's where one of my goals, and take this one day at a time. That's the other thing.
Yeah. You're not trying to get yourself out and into the future too much in your head. You're trying to just stay here now and be present with what you're doing. How did your family take your work that you're doing now?
As far as I know, they don't know anything either, because I won't go so well, because I come from a Christian family. I think my mother knows some of it, but I don't say anything. It's like, do you really believe in this stuff? Don't worry about it, because I'm not getting into that. She has heard me do this stuff, so anyway.
Has she seen you on YouTube?
No, I don't know anything about that.
No.
As far as I know.
Okay.
Just heard me sometimes.
Yeah.
You can't keep it secret, especially from the neighbors, especially it's 11 o'clock at night. I'm about to do a video. So if anybody's outside, here you go.
Well, thank you for what you've shared with us, Ivan. What's your website as well?
It's ivanteller.com. You can find me on YouTube, just Ivan Teller.
And you do readings as well?
Yeah, readings. I have a calendar. It shows what availability throughout the week. So just message me.
Excellent. Okay, well, we've been putting that on the screen as well. And I'd just like to say, Ivan Teller, thank you for joining me.
Thank you. Greetings to you. This is Yeshua. Blessings to you. Yes, we play collective connected to your energy fields. As for your ascension vibration, as you're assisting you, to see more clearly through your third eye. Realize also, you're basically is to open up your senses. So yes, you can see through your eyes, but you want to see through your energy field, where you can see beyond this world. Even feel other worlds, even feel ships coming to your planet. That is where the you humans can connect to those energies, and but beyond that of your superior vibration. Not all beings are superior, but as the human, Earth human, you are very advanced compared to other species. So we can, yes, actually activate you, but we are we can assist, but can you handle this upgrade? That is what we are working on. All beings are working on. And many of you are, basically what we are seeing is that many of you humans are allowing more of your talents to come through, your higher vibrational selves. A few, you will be teaching others how to do so when they're ready. You are in the early stages of it. You can say the Renaissance, the early Renaissance. The early Renaissance things took time before everything was, before you call it the Renaissance. You're in the early stages of that. But yes, I believe you have a question, if you like.
Thank you. And yeah, thank you so much for coming through.
Yes.
Firstly, do you have any karmic connection to Ivan?
Yes, like a brother, yes. On other Palladian worlds, I did not reincarnate on this world because of its, I am more of a spirit guide energy to him in his past. So connecting to him in this way is basically, he gave you the go-ahead. So basically, in some ways, I'm like an alien spirit guide, but I'm mostly keeping him out of harm's way, but also connecting to him to new possibilities.
And are you currently incarnated now, or are we connected to the soul aspect of something that's crossed over?
No, I am a Palladian being on a ship at this time. So we are the Galactic Federation of Light watching over your planet at this time. A mothership, if you're wondering.
How do the Palladians seem to know of their karmic connections with the human beings on this planet?
We learn it in school, actually, of our connections. As some of us Palladians have not cared for this world as we should have in the past, which is true, as others connected to. As we the Palladians felt the Atlanteans could take care of themselves. And at the point that we were right, but then we did not realize what else was coming here. So we misjudged, you could say. So we are never leaving this world ever again because of that. We have learned greatly from this world. So,
were the Atlanteans, were they wiped off the face of the planet?
not all of them. Many of them are still here. Some of them are trapped karmically. Some of them are still in a ghost world, but they still have their alien abilities, some of them. There's different, many have this, yes, left, but a good amount is still here.
Were they using their powers for something that was not in the best of them, or were they had they lost their way in a sense and become quite negative?
Yes, they became very selfish, basically. As if they wanted the power all for themselves. They saw others that were similar to them and saw a threat. That's what we figured. They're going to take away our power. So yes, they caused the first war because of fear. That's where a lot of that comes from. So yes, not all Atlanteans went into darkness, but the higher portions, the higher councils did. They wanted to continue in their power. And they felt other beings are going to manipulate them. But yes, they were being manipulated by other beings, which they did not see as negative at the time. Come to find out, it was much of that, as you were aware by other connections.
Has Ivan had a past life then in Atlantis?
Oh yes, many. The high councils also, yes, he is run amok with them also. Before the true darkness came in, he was there before that. You can say the grandfather of some of them. But they took it to the extreme. Yes, you're going to fool around. Maybe you do things you probably should not be doing. Others took it where they would erase the planet from the universe, pretty much, where they were going at that time.
Were the Atlanteans wiped from the face of the earth by a global catastrophe, and what caused this? Was it decided by some councils that really we needed to start again?
There is partially that, but also they caused a lot of issues with the earth where they lost the planet. When they hit a low vibration, the earth kind of broke apart. So when the Atlanteans lost their energy, the earth did too, as it became more of a third-dimensional planet at that time. It was at fourth dimension at that time, even during the wars. But when they lost their power, That's when the Earth went into the third world as you are connected to at this time. There are other beings also that were gradually helping them. That way they all won't be wiped out. The Earth will survive it also. So there was, yes, assistance there. Yes.
We call this past lives, but are those Atlantean lives taking place right now?
Yes, there is. Yes, correct. There are warning from this civilization also.
They're warning this civilization. So are the Atlanteans in contact with us now?
Yes.
And who are some of the Atlanteans working with?
Your governments at this time, for even disclosure, actually, to so let them know that they're still around. Part of that. They're working with different alien races also. Some of them are not so friendly. Some of them are. So you have a little bit of everything there.
When I see Atlantis working with us, I'm kind of referring to, if the past is happening now, are they projecting themselves and connecting with the future versions of us?
Yes, they are seeing the future version at this time, and they're letting their own civilization know of this. So yes.
But that still didn't stop them from destroying themselves.
Not this time, no. There are different worlds also. You are warning from a certain timeline, this timeline. There are other timelines where they will survive. This timeline will most likely remain the same as it is currently. So.
Well, that would mean then that there are multiple parallel realities out there.
Correct, yes.
Are those parallel realities affecting us?
Yes, all the time. Yes, they're all the time. When you make a decision, when you say yes or no, yes, it goes into a different. You say yes, the other version of you says no. So yes.
What shifts in that moment of that decision? Is it your consciousness?
Yes, correct.
Not the actual physical body, but the consciousness.
The consciousness, yes.
But you would not know that you're in a different body. Everything was seen the same.
You would not. Some do feel that. When you are aware, you feel a little bit different because you made that decision. Because you also feel that it was a good decision. Sometimes you feel it's a bad decision. Of course, that's a little bit harder. You know that you kind of switched in that regard. If you feel good after making that decision, that shows you have moved to that new timeline. So,
is that why a lot of us right now could say that we're on a new Earth? Because there are no major wars right now as such.
Yes.
But it felt like there could have been previously.
Oh, yes.
So we've shifted.
Yes, we continue to shift. It's not just from the alien assistance, it's for human consciousness. Basically, they've had enough of it. Even if now where they are working is at the home themselves. The home is where a lot of the struggles are going at this time, with family, with trust within family members. That is where most of the focus will go into over time. It is going on right now, but that would become more of the importance of your society. Less worry about North Korea, more worry about Jack and Jill getting along with each other.
But if many other channels have told me that we shift our reality, just as you're confirming there.
Correct.
Now you're also saying, and I'm asking you now, do you shift your reality as much?
Yes, ours, the Atlanteans do. If we're talking still about Atlantis, Atlanteans do, yes.
But you as a species?
As a species, yes, we shift with you, yes. Yes, correct.
So is Ivan in contact with the same dimensional aspect of this being that's coming through now as he was a few weeks ago, maybe?
Yes, correct.
So it's the same, but if we as humans shift our dimensional realities or go to parallel universes, if we have guides as well, do they shift with us, or do we actually get to speak to different versions of guides?
Different versions of guides, yes. It does. They learn with you, so it is another version, yes.
Is it this? But it's not maybe the same as the previous guide you were speaking to as you shift your reality.
Yes. Well, as for the alien species, yes, we do shift, but we're more aware of our shift, as the guides are also. So, we mostly stay with you. Yes, we can shift slightly, but we are pretty much, you could say we know your whole history, basically, let's put it that way.
Wow, okay. Why are we here, and why have this experience as a human being?
As a human on your Earth, is basically to learn from previous mistakes, but also to be able to, activate the human body to be a higher vibrational energy to connect to the universe. For right now, that is way of the future. But yes, alien visitation is coming closer to your society. That's all we can say at this moment. It's basically to let you know that you are not here by yourselves. As for how much we're going to make that more known society-wise, we're being careful of how much we're bringing out into your environment. Because only those that do not are closed out to all this. They are not ready, they don't need it. So we are those of you that are. Because some, health-wise, on your world, humans are having trouble in this third dimension and having more trouble. Those are the ones we are connected to as our physical connection. But as for why humans are here, is basically different reasons. Some are here just to get along with families of the members of their family that they could not get along with in other dimensions. It is different. Everyone's here for a different purpose. But many of you are here to open yourselves up, the doorway of yourselves, to connect galactically. Obviously, not everyone's here for that, as you can see.
And the benefit of connecting galactically is, well, what is the benefit of that?
To know more about yourself, your powers, to be able to go to other worlds, to be able to connect, assist humans with all your abilities, telepathically, through healing, to become like a spirit guide, even as to graduate from human to a fourth dimension to assist humans. Don't have to be seen, because many here are not ready to be seen. So many humans here are going to be upgraded eventually, where you can still assist humans on your world, but on a galactic front instead.
Have we been upgraded before?
Oh yes. During your 1950s, during your 40s somewhat, during your 50s, as for understanding your technology, that was a major upgrade. 80s, there was some there also. Especially around your Asians for connect to making all those electronics. I had to assist them and to understand more of what they're getting into. So, and others too. Not everyone needs to know how to put together a transistor, but you understand.
You know, contact hasn't happened in the masses, but then I've got this contact here, so is contact happening in this form?
Yes.
And
Yes,
is this safer for you?
Yes. But also we are learning how we can connect to you. What is the big worry is mass hysteria. So we are working on ways that we can't disclose, but we will. You will know when we are here. Many of you will just feel, basically you have, it's similar to like you have a cat, a dog. Now some of you have an alien in your presence. So little by little, this is going to become known. Give you a hint of what's to come.
Has your message been distorted by many others?
Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, throughout, yes. Oh, yes. All through different speed. Some are not ready, as for a channel, to even let it come through. The channeler is not always ready to say these things.
How much of Ivan is, or does block you? How much of his human side blocks you sometimes?
About around 20% sometimes, which is very small actually.
Yeah.
So we can get through, it varies, but around 20%. But
Okay.
we work with it. What we can.
Okay. Yeah. Right. Interesting.
Yes.
So when I always remember interviewing people like Billy Myers, not Billy Myers, but his representatives.
Yes.
And how can one person have the only truth?
From their perspective, they feel like they are privileged. That they are, for them, this is their moment in stardom. So with that, all the lights go out everywhere else. For them, it's a part of, yes, healing. Some of it might be ego. Let you be the judge of that. But for that individual, they feel as if this is all they need. They don't need anybody else. So why connect to anyone else? I'm only connected to me, so who needs anyone else? So that's our perspective of that.
You know, obviously, some humans find this very difficult to think that you know what's happening right now.
Yes.
But why come through in this form? Why this way?
Oh, for the safety of you, of humans, and for us.
Right.
For us to bring our education to you through a higher energy, and also you don't have to have all these large vocabulary words for us to connect to you, basically. It's basically for those that we can come through easily. And so it doesn't have, saying it in elementary way is usually the easiest anyway. If you say it in words that are how you put together a spaceship, how many of those are really going to connect with? So, and we also connected the egos of those that we're connecting to. So the idea is to have the basics for healing. Much of it has to do with, we are here. Also, when more channelers are appearing, more aliens are going to most likely appear in your skies. So we are setting the stage for our next arrival. So that's what this is all about. Bashar is one version of it, and there's several others. Basically, for contact to occur, it's nice to know who you're contacting with. So that's part of it. Take it as you want.
But why do you care enough for us? Why are we so important for you?
Well, humans, as you can see, do not want war on their planet. You can change that. You can have all the war you want. Most humans do not want war. And that makes your species, because this is what Billy Meyer was connecting to, species that went to another planet and it was all war. Your species, no war. Yes, you have not figured out what's going on. Also, those are manipulating your society of reptilian and other species have taken the liberty of possessing many humans also. So we are not to possess, but to here to heal. As basically the manipulations have gone beyond the limits of for visitation, they're only allowed to connect to humans so much. They're taking over the human altogether now from what we are seeing, as you can see in your society.
What were the reasons for abductions?
The Greys, there's different versions of Grey that was involved. Some of this was to open up the mind, Zeta Reticuli, to let us know that you're not alone. Others that were causing difficulties was from the reptilian races mostly. As for basically to scare, basically many beings were aware of our arrival as for disclosure. As for technology, it was brought to your planet. So disclosure's always been on, you could say, the timeline. As for when is another story. So basically many of the beings now this is one version of it, just wanted to scare humans. Yes, they wanted to help their society also, through the Zetas to repair themselves, but part of it was just to terrify them. So when you connect to aliens, when we do land or connect to you, there'll be great fear. So yes, they plan ahead, as you can see. So that's part of it also.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And as you said, some souls will never be ready for this in this lifetime.
That's why we're not expecting everyone to be ready, but those that you are will be most likely, if you wish, to help those that are not. Just continue the Earth cycle. Wherever your human consciousness goes, this is where they want to be. An alien is not on their list of things they want to connect with. But most likely, many of you will have more awareness of our presence. Let's put it that way.
When you use the word alien there,
yes,
are we all one?
Yes, but for our communications, alien is identity. But yes, we are. Yes, correct. You are a family to us. Yes.
So we are you, you are us.
Correct. Yes.
And from a soul perspective.
Yes.
If we could look in our skies with different technology,
yes,
would it be quite busy?
Oh yes, yes. Yes. We don't make ourselves too invisible for you, but yes, you'll feel much is going on. As it's a lot of reason why your world is kind of slow as it is, for purpose of warning, for our presence, so you can hear us. If there's a lot going on in the world, and in some ways there are, but the idea is to keep things kind of calm in certain areas, let's put it that way.
If we went to where you gave us coordinates where you may be, would we be able to physically see you?
Yes, I believe so. Yes.
We would. But there are groups of the Pleiadians that aren't physical.
Yes, correct.
So the Pleiades is a huge.
Yes, just second star to the right. Yes, it's for right now. It's not that important, but yes.
Wow. Okay.
Oh yes, we do not want to be too invisible, but others have their reasons for it. But for us, we are part of the first contact energy. It's Galactic Federation of Light. At least my role is assist with it. As for when it will occur, once again, it's still up in the air.
How long have you been around in the form that you are?
Around 500 years. I had some life extensions to continue. As we don't always know if even, like with Ivan, if he wants to even channel us, because it's always up to the person. So once he said yes, it's like, if this happens, I will have life extension, because basically my time is up basically. But with this, we want to be a part of it and to protect him and protect others in their soul awakening. So it's not just about this one. This one, when the message goes out, we do assist those that want assistance.
So our progression is your progression. Your progression is our progression.
Yes.
What is the common theme here? What are you channeling to levels above you?
Yes.
And what are, if you can say it, I mean, maybe we're not allowed to know, but what are some of the information that you're channeling?
Oh, from the Galactic Federations of Light. Basically, what they are allowing us, basically, they kind of give us like a checklist, what we can go through, what we can say and not say. But also, we do connect to astrally before this conversation. You just don't remember. For good reason, it's kind of take the whole fun out of it, basically. But yes, through federations, basically to your God consciousness also. As many of your spirit world is very much involved with this connection also. So you think we're just, and now when beings come in that you're not sure who they are, a lot of it's for that being that is, say they are Pleiadian, ends up being an Arcturian or whatever it might be. But it says it's a Pleiadian. It's warning from your society. If it's negative, you will instantly know. But others want to come in, basically they are connected to that consciousness of that source, of that one you asked to come in. Not necessarily it's entirely wrong, but it is a different aspect. But it is there to give its not. Basically, if you're channeling one that you think you're channeling, it has to be somebody else. It's because that being has a message. It knows what you're going to ask before you do. And it has a message, it has an answer for that. So, one of the reasons why that happens.
What is the God source to you?
It's everything. You are gods to us. Is to come into a world where you forget everything. Is very God-like. And it's just sometimes the gods don't always. They're not always what you think they are. Something is a supreme being, yes. But is it a supreme being that has good manners? Not necessarily. Is it a supreme being that acts like a 5-year-old and it's 30? Yes, gods act like that. You have many of them here. So, different way of looking at things, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It is. And are you on? You must be on some sort of journey to evolve yourself spiritually as well.
For a world like this is like, as you would call Vietnam. For us, it is that way. We are dropped into a world. It's like, I'm not sure what's going to happen to me. Am I even going to be the same after this? Right. Most likely not. We learn from you because all your consciousnesses are connecting to us. Even though that's the recording. You say, I wish to connect to the Pleiadians. We feel that. It helps our collective grow in your society.
Are you aware of other groups that can be channeled as well? For example, on this reality, we have groups like Abraham, Seth.
Yes.
Other groups like the Guides. Well, maybe not the Guides, but you know, there are people that channel groups here. So, do you connect with these groups at all? Yes,
with Seth is a funny one, or Seth. Yes, he is a talkative one. Some would call him female, male. He is one that guides many of us alien beings. He guides many of the guides. Yes, he does not like always to come through. On certain occasions, he will come through, but he does send those that he feels that is connected to Seth's energy. So Seth plays a big role as for the messages on your planet. Not all, but those on which to connect to the Seth energy is always very much part of that. Either way, you're still getting the information from Seth. Those that feel like they're connected to their higher self and Seth. Seth is actually doing a major healing on certain individuals that believe they're connected to, but others are not resonating with that Seth energy. It's just because it's that human getting healed by Seth. So it's like, let them do their thing. Because they are, if you bring up too much negativity, it's let them be on their journey and just leave it be, as you are aware.
Thank you. And where we're at right now
Yes.
in the timeline of humanity, is this a very special time?
Yes, it is a time of great technology, as you can see. And many beings want to use technology against humanity. This is another reason we saw this early on. We knew this was going to happen as technology became part of your society. We have seen this before also. So us being more known in your society, yes, it will be seen as a cliche, a small set of humans, basically, is a better word for that. It'll be a small group. Eventually that group will grow. As more of the humans come out of the thought pattern that they are in. Now, is humanity going to truly grow out of it? Those that aren't connected to the fourth dimension, they're going to be there for a while. But many of you that are awakening will continue to bring in. And it's not going to go as many feel is going to happen on your planet. As they feel, oh, everyone's going to go into the fourth dimension. Many are not ready, as you can see. As for our visitation here, as we are still not going to reveal it entirely, but we can say this, our presence here is going to get more stronger.
Right.
You're seeing it through channelings, but it will increase.
Thank you.
Yes.
What is the most important message that you come with?
Yes, let yourself go. Let your fears go. Let your imagination. Go into your imagination. What kind of alien species, who do you feel that you are? Do you feel like you can fly? Because most likely you can. Do you feel like you can teleport to other worlds? Most likely you can. Yes, it might not be brought into this environment yet, but to just let go of all the walls that many of you have around. Just let them all down. Let yourself free, basically. And as for belief systems, believe what you want. Because even in the alien world, not all of us are on the same page. Not all of us think that humanity can awaken during a contact. So, in our world, it's different, but also we don't always agree. So, follow your belief systems and just go as far as you feel.
Do you connect with other multi-dimensional aspects of Earth?
Yes, always. Yes, we see at least 4 or 5. We must see more of a 4 or 5 to get an idea of where your world's going. We see different timelines, so yes.
Do you connect with different versions of Ivan?
Yes.
And is Ivan doing different things in those realities a bit?
Yes, he has a reptilian incarnation. He's actually assisting that other Earth in its ascension process, but as a reptilian being. So it's a little bit different. It's kind of like a politician talking, and some of those are humans there too. So reptilian and human have connected in other worlds.
Same timeline, different reality.
Yes. So it's done differently. And so you actually have an actual alien talking to your human species. And they have actually, after they got all scared, they kind of calmed down. But yes, there's different, to give you a different perspective.
And love is the only answer?
Yes. Find yourself. What? Self-love, yes, is what matters most.
Self-love, yeah.
Incarnations.
Yeah. Well, listen, you came
Yes.
through for a reason. With all the entities that would have liked to have come through, you did. And I really appreciate you coming through. You've been ever so kind.
Yes. Blessings to your society. As yes, I am speaking for many species here at this moment. And we've been thankful to be part of your soul growth as we are growing with you. And many of you are going to have a great transition over the next few years. Blessings to you all.
Thank you.